So eventually, what happened actually? Selenium was using HTTP-based protocols, and you know, browsers were not that much. If you think or if you had observed years back or a decade back, browsers. There was, I think, once Selenium came, at that point of time, I think there were many browsers which were there in the market. Like there were no clear winner in the market leadership of in the browser space. There was Firefox, which was very massively being used, and there was Edge also was there, and then eventually Chrome uh, eventually started picking up, and Chrome became the king in the market of browsers. And later on, Chrome was the market leader and had captured a lot of market in browser space itself. And eventually, for people, Chrome was the default choice of browsers. That's how it became. Now, eventually, what happened? How these browsers were evolving, they became event driven things. So the internal team of these browsers, actually, what they wanted, they were eventually these browsers also are what? These are softwares at the end of the day, right? These are also
Right.
softwares, so they require testing also. So their testing team actually started to struggle, and they need some ways to test these browsers internally or externally. So for these, actually, what internal teams of or development teams of these browsers did, they started to bringing some APIs using which they can their own testers can test. And eventually they also brought in the event driven execution or event driven browsers, which work on event related things. So if let's suppose any click has happened on the browser, so it browser is gonna trigger an event, and if you capture that event, that will become your you can act on that particular event. It's like like you are keep on asking your friend whether you are ready or not. So your
So basically,
browser.
any action being performed on the browser, any actions performed.
Yes, any action which is being performed on the browser will trigger an event, and using that event, any other things you can do a lot of things, because browser itself is telling that, okay, now click event has been performed. Now whatever you want to do, you can do of that particular information. You want to perform testing, you can do testing. You want to perform some action on top of that event, because you can capture that event, and you can perform something on that. So the browsers eventually or the development team of browsers eventually realize that we need some kind of uh, some kind of way, so that we can enable our testing team to test it more effectively and more rigorously. So that's where event driven browsers, and also the um, event driven browsers actually started to come. And also these browsers actually eventually launched the dev tools, basically. So I'm sure you must have heard about dev tools, or Chrome DevTools, or Chrome DevTools. If you see Chrome for
Yeah.
developers,
Right.
okay, so Chrome
Yeah.
DevTools, if I just went inside, all the browsers is eventually started to give these documentations and dev tools. So
Mm-hmm.
DevTools, if you see this, Chrome DevTools is a set of web developers tool built directly into the Google Chrome browser. DevTools lets you edit pages on the fly. So it is going to help you edit your pages on the fly and diagnose problems quickly, which helps you build better websites faster. So it has one, these DevTools actually were built to interact with the pages itself, or web pages which are dynamically you can interact on those pages. And how are you going to interact? Using those events.
Got it.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
is just a background of it. And eventually the playwright actually used these dev tools and dev protocols. Dev tools protocols are there. So each of the browsers eventually started to launch their own dev tools, and they have all the APIs and all those things. And Playwright actually used these tools, dev tools, and also the way browsers were giving informations. Those informations were used by Playwright to build more intelligently, automation softwares, or automation tool, or automation library. Okay.
Yes.
So this is just a background how Playwright started to picking up, and this basically working with this thing like what browsers started to offer, like event driven execution or these Chrome or dev tools, or either if you talk about the architecture of Playwright, all of this eventually gave some of the superpowers. They thought upon the automation of web browsers from a completely new perspective. So we will be talking about that also, what different things are there and how they have optimized different things. Eventually we will be talking that also. But this is how Playwright build on the existing, or I would say emerging browsers, capabilities.
Got it.
And Selenium, since Selenium was there, but eventually how Selenium's architecture was there, it was not supporting existing or emerging browsers architecture and what browsers have eventually changed themselves. So it was not able to adapt, I would say, or it was very slow in adapting all of these things. So a better, I would say, solution came into the market, which had a lot of benefits over existing tools. So eventually it became talk of the town, and everyone saw real benefit of using Playwright, and it became overnight success for Playwright, and we know how it played.